Welcome to our Trump briefing show, where today's headlines are anything but dull. First up, Tom Homan, the former ICE chief, is stirring the pot with his fiery comments at a conference, defending tough immigration policies and even admitting to racial profiling during raids. Yikes. He argues undocumented farmworkers are hired because they work harder and pay fewer taxes, sticking to the administration's hardline stance. Next, President Trump is rallying behind Attorney General Pam Bondi, trying to dismiss the controversy over Jeffrey Epstein files. Despite calls for her resignation and ongoing suspicions, Trump urges supporters to trust her and move on, leaving many questions hanging in the air about what really happened. Finally, a tragic story from Texas reveals how flood risks were hidden from maps, allowing Camp Mystic to dodge regulations, only to be hit by a deadly flood that killed at least 27 children. Critics are raising alarms about the transparency and safety of flood assessments, as President Trump visits the area promising aid. Please continue to watch for more details. The Independent reports on Tom Homan, President Trump's border czar, who has recently become the prominent face of the administration's aggressive deportation policies. At a Turning Point USA conference, Homan's confrontational persona was on full display as he responded to hecklers with fiery insults, boasting about his unwavering stance on immigration enforcement. Later, on television, Homan attempted to walk back his earlier admission that ICE agents might racially profile individuals during raids, claiming that physical description alone cannot justify detentions, though he openly acknowledged that American citizens had been caught in collateral arrests. His comments reveal a troubling endorsement of racial profiling, even as he defends the legality of such actions, underscoring his role as a staunch defender of the Trump administration's hardline immigration policies amidst growing controversy. BBC highlights the political controversy surrounding Attorney General Pam Bondi and her handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case amid President Trump's defense of her reputation. Following a government memo that failed to reveal any incriminating client list or evidence of high-profile blackmail, critics, including conspiracy theorists and political opponents, have called for her resignation. Trump publicly supported Bondi, urging her to continue her work despite mounting pressure and skepticism about the case's transparency. The memo confirmed Epstein's death by suicide, yet questions linger about the extent of the evidence and the potential involvement of powerful figures. The ongoing debate reflects broader tensions within the Justice Department and FBI, with some officials expressing frustration over the lack of new revelations, fueling conspiracy theories and political discord. BBC also reports on the disturbing manipulation of flood risk assessments in Texas, where officials allegedly approved appeals to remove Camp Mystic from official flood maps, despite evidence that the camp was at high risk. Originally marked as a flood-prone area in 2011, the camp successfully challenged its designation, enabling it to bypass stricter regulations and flood insurance requirements. Tragically, this decision contributed to the deaths of at least 27 children when floodwaters inundated the camp during a severe flood in July. Experts criticize the decision, emphasizing the importance of caution given the camp's location in hazardous flood zones, especially since the camp caters to children. President Trump visited the disaster-stricken area, vowing aid but dismissing questions about whether earlier warnings could have prevented the tragedy, raising concerns about the integrity of flood mapping processes and the safety of vulnerable communities. According to Yahoo US, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has staunchly defended her management of FEMA during the Texas flood crisis. She emphasized the immediate federal response, asserting that critics are politicizing a tragedy with unnecessary attacks. Noem defended her policy requiring her sign-off on large FEMA expenditures, claiming it ensures accountability, though experts argue it hampered disaster response efforts. She dismissed a New York Times report highlighting FEMA layoffs and response delays as fake news, calling for transparency from anonymous sources. Noem also expressed optimism about FEMA's future under President Trump, suggesting plans to reform the agency to improve its deployment and support strategies, despite ongoing debates about its effectiveness and funding. The Independent reports a disturbing increase in deportations of young children under the Trump administration, with record numbers of minors, especially those under 11, being ordered removed from the United States. Data reveals that April saw over 8,300 children aged 11 or under receiving removal orders, the highest in over 3 decades. Since Trump's inauguration, more than 53,000 minors have faced deportation orders, with a disproportionate focus on unaccompanied children and those with limited legal protections. Many of these children, some as young as 4, are detained and deported without proper legal representation, often unaware of the proceedings they face. The aggressive deportation policies and expedited court procedures, including rocket dockets, have led to a system where children are swiftly processed, often with little understanding or due process, raising serious concerns about cruelty and human rights violations. The Toronto Star highlights President Trump's upcoming meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte amid discussions of arming Ukraine and bolstering European defenses. Trump's recent statements suggest plans to sell NATO allies weapons that could be transferred to Ukraine, with some European nations considering purchasing replacements from the US to expedite aid. Meanwhile, European defense officials, including France, express a need for enhanced air defense capabilities, though some wait until next year for new missile systems. Concurrently, Trump faces bipartisan pressure to support legislation imposing severe sanctions on Russia's energy sector, aiming to cut Moscow's revenue and weaken its war efforts in Ukraine. The proposed legislation, supported overwhelmingly in the Senate, would impose hefty tariffs on countries purchasing Russian energy, notably affecting China and India. Trump's cautious stance on sanctions, coupled with his desire for control over waiver processes, reflects ongoing tensions over the U.S. strategy to counter Russia's invasion while balancing diplomatic and military aid commitments. The Toronto Star vividly depicts the ongoing devastation in Gaza, where Israeli airstrikes have claimed at least 30 lives in a single day, including 6 children at a water collection point. The unrelenting violence has resulted in over 58,000 deaths since the war's escalation, with the Gaza Health Ministry emphasizing that civilians, especially women and children, make up more than half of the casualties. The article recounts harrowing scenes of children and adults lining up for water only to be caught in deadly strikes, illustrating the brutal reality faced by Gaza's residents amid the conflict. The war has also extended to the West Bank, where Palestinian funerals for victims of settler violence, including a Palestinian American killed on family land, reflect the widespread turmoil and suffering inflicted by ongoing violence and political strife. CBC provides a gripping account of the aftermath of the assassination attempt on Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, a year ago, highlighting the failures and reforms within the U.S. Secret Service. The attack, orchestrated by 20-year-old Matthew Crooks, exposed critical lapses in security, such as unguarded vantage points and fragmented communication between agencies, which allowed Crooks to fire 8 shots from a rooftop with a clear line of sight to Trump. Investigations revealed that despite known risks, multiple personnel assessed the situation as acceptable, and the unguarded roof became a tragic vulnerability. In response, the Secret Service has begun implementing new policies, equipment, and procedures, including enhanced aerial surveillance and mobile command units, but lingering questions about the agency's preparedness and the motives of Crooks remain, emphasizing the need for continued reform. The Independent narrates President Donald Trump's planned attendance at the FIFA Club World Cup final in New Jersey, coinciding with the first anniversary of his survival of a shooting attack in Butler, Pennsylvania. During the incident, Crooks fired 8 rounds, one grazing Trump's ear, and resulted in the death of a bystander, Corey Compertor, with others wounded. The event marked a turning point in Trump's political life, elevating his status and prompting a series of investigations into Secret Service failures. A recent GAO report criticizes the agency for missteps such as poor communication and lack of threat awareness, revealing that despite prior knowledge of potential danger, security protocols were not sufficiently enforced. As Trump prepares to attend the match, the report underscores the ongoing challenges in safeguarding high-profile figures and the importance of rigorous security measures to prevent future tragedies. CNN reports that Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, passionately advocates for America to reduce dependency on foreign countries by onshoring technology manufacturing, emphasizing the importance of investing in domestic industries to boost economic growth and societal stability. Huang praises the Trump administration's efforts to revive manufacturing sectors, especially in semiconductors, highlighting plans like TSMC's $100 billion investment in the U.S. to create a robust, self-sufficient ecosystem that lessens reliance on Taiwan and China. He underscores that this shift will also alleviate geopolitical pressures, fostering a resilient supply chain. Regarding AI, Huang acknowledges its transformative potential, noting that nearly all NVIDIA employees incorporate AI into their work, and he envisions AI revolutionizing healthcare through accelerated drug discovery and disease understanding, ultimately leading to virtual researchers capable of curing diseases. He discusses AI's role in the physical world, such as enabling robots to perform tasks like picking up objects, with technology already viable and expected to proliferate within 5 years. Addressing AI ethics, Huang comments on recent controversies with generative models like Musk's Grok and ChatGPT, emphasizing that while some risks and harms exist, most AI systems are interconnected and safeguarded by global standards, promising overwhelmingly positive societal impacts despite inevitable challenges. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Got a question in your mind? We'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything. Laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too, we've got the A to Z for you. Got a question in your mind? We'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything. Laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too.